Times. The president demanding the Justice Department pay him around $230 million in compensation for the federal investigations that he faced. Joining me now is Democratic Congressman of New York, Dan Goldman, who sits on the House Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees. Congressman, thanks very much for being here. Let's just start there. We were just having a conversation about this with Senator Lankford and our panel. What is your reaction to the president wanting his Justice Department to pay him $230 million?
Well, it's finally we have the confluence of all of the corruption and politicization that Donald Trump has brought to this administration. We are combining the weaponization of the Department of Justice by him putting his political lackeys there with his grift and corruption to make money off of the presidency. It is completely absurd. Donald Trump would have been convicted at trial in both of those cases. The only reason they went away is because he won the election, and a president cannot be tried. And the notion that there was anything wrong with those investigations is preposterous. But even more so to then demand of his own Justice Department and his own appointees that they pay him $200 million for who knows what is a shakedown of his own government, where he is literally just digging into the coffers of his own government and saying, let's just put $230 million into my own pocket. When are the Republicans going to stand up for anything?
Congressman, it is, as has been pointed out, taxpayer money that would be on the table here. Is there potentially recourse for a taxpayer who disagrees with this?
Well, it's very hard to just get taxpayer standing, but there certainly, I'm sure, are many people much more knowledgeable and experienced than I am who will be looking at a lawsuit. But it shouldn't get to that. And that's why I bring up the Republicans. Okay, they have a constitutional duty. They take an oath to be a member of Congress or a senator, not to be a shill for Donald Trump. And when something is so egregiously and shockingly wrong as this, they need to stand up for the United States. They need to stand up for the taxpayers. They need to stand up for their constituents. And if they were to do that, Donald Trump would not do this. But they're so afraid that they won't even stand up against something as obviously wrong as this. So it shouldn't have to get to a lawsuit. And that keeps getting lost as we talk about all these court cases. The Republicans have abdicated their job as members of Congress as a co-equal branch. And it is time that America, the media, constituents, everyone stand up and say, hey, you can stop this. You must stop this.
Congressman, I want to ask you about another topic, because, of course, the Virginia Giuffre memoir was published posthumously today. She, of course, alleges and walks through just horrible things that happened to her when she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. And I want to play for you something that James Comer, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, said, of course, a Republican, about what might be in the Epstein files that the Oversight Committee has been coming into possession of and releasing some of. Let's watch.
The evidence we've gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way. Public reporting, survivor testimony, and official documents show that Bill Clinton had far closer ties to Epstein. We're working to bring former President Clinton in for a deposition, but the Democrats aren't helping one bit.
Is this true?
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. It is a clown show over in the Oversight Committee, but obviously there's plenty of evidence already, including a letter to Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, that Donald Trump had some indication of what's going on. We know about the many, many times Trump traveled on his plane. We know about Trump saying he knows about Epstein's penchant for younger girls. And more importantly, they are covering up disclosure of the Epstein files. The Republicans who literally made this a top campaign issue are now going through a very, very complex cover-up. And part of that cover-up is James Comer, because that oversight investigation very specifically does not ask for the types of evidence where Donald Trump's name, likeness would be. Photographs, video recordings, audio recordings, witness statements, the investigation origination documents. The Oversight Committee has not asked for those. The discharge petition that Mike Johnson